Hey everybody, this is Case with the East Baton Rouge Parish Library Career Center, and today I'm going to show you how to apply to a job at Circle K online. So first thing we're going to do is go to the Circle K website. We're going to go to circlek.com. And whenever you look for a job on a website, first thing you want to do is try to find their jobs link. Almost all of them have some kind of a jobs link. This one has working with us. I'm going to click on that. And then you can search by city or postal code. That's what I always like to do. So I'm going to search for 70806. That's where we are. And then there's 334 jobs. That's good. If you look down here on the left, you can see you can filter it by in-store non-managerial, managerial, stuff like that. I'm going to filter it by in-store non-managerial since that's the job we're going to apply for. And let's see, you see here we have the job title, the location, and the date posted. You want the date posted to be, it's good if it's recent because that means that you'll be one of the first applicants. If it's been there for a while, I mean, it's still worth trying to apply for, but I would go with the more recent one. And this here, the location on Jefferson Highway, that looks good. Let's click on this. And then this is going to be, all right, so when you're ready, you can click this red apply button here. But before we do that, let's go ahead and read through the job description, where it'll talk about all of the different perks to the job and also the responsibilities here. So, you know, greeting customers, running the register, being a cashier, all that kind of stuff. You can look at the experience they want you to have, the physical requirements. So yeah, if all that looks good, they also have a great little, another apply button down here. So we'll just click on this. And it's going to take us to the job application site. All right, now for this, we're going to have to create an account here. So it looks like this is pretty easy though. You just have to fill in your email address, your password, and verify a new password. Today we're going to do I'm going to do our friend John Q. Public, and let's see, he's going to have a password. So remember, the password needs to be something that's easy for you to remember and hard for others to guess. You know, this doesn't look like it has any kind of requirements, so type in whatever you like. But yeah, just try to make it, I would recommend using some letters, some numbers, some symbols. You know, a password like password is not a good one. But yeah, so we're going to hit create account. Oh, and here we go. Now they tell us that we need a lowercase character, numeric character, that's a number, special character, that's one of the characters besides A through Z and 1 through 0, alphabetic, uppercase, and a minimum of 8. So let's see. All right, I'm just gonna, I almost had all of these. I just had to add a special character. And now we are ready to apply. All right, that's fairly painless. All right, now we're not going to upload a resume here just to save some time. But if you do have a resume in one of these formats, I would highly recommend uploading your resume. It'll probably pre-fill out some of the forms that we're going to come to in a bit, and it'll just look a lot more professional. They'll probably appreciate it at Circle K. So if you have a resume, I would highly recommend dropping it in here. If you don't have a resume, I would highly recommend writing a resume. But that's another story for another time. So let's go ahead and hit next. And this is our My Information page. So the country, this is your country of residence. We're in the United States. Our legal name is John Public. And this is a nice feature of the Circle K application. I know for someone like me, my first name's Ashley, but I have a preferred name. My middle name is Case. So you can click on that, and then they will ask you what your preferred name is. I just think that's a great feature. Obviously, if that doesn't apply to you, you don't have to worry about it. But that is something that's nice to have. Oh, another thing too is you see these red stars right here. That means that this field right here is required. It's not going to let you go forward unless you fill out all of these. If it doesn't have a red star, like this address, then that means it's not required and you don't have to fill it out. We are going to go ahead and fill out the address, but just so you know, you don't have to. So we're going to say that we live at the library. That's in Baton Rouge, and let's see here. Oh, yes, Louisiana, and our postcode is 70806. They pre-filled in our email, so that's nice. Phone. Now, the last time, whenever I did this when I was practicing, it did not have this pre-filled out. And this is the country phone code. Basically, if you're in the US, it's a +1. But let me go ahead and show you what it's going to look like otherwise. So, because like I said, whenever I practiced, this wasn't filled out already. So if it's not filled out, you're going to click on here, and then you're going to just type in, you're going to start typing United. Well, maybe not. You can also scroll down to the U's and go to United States of America. There you go. And then our phone number is, let's see. This is just the Career Center's phone number. And you notice those are both required. Also, this how did you hear about us is also required. So again, you're just going to click on this little 3-line thing here. Honestly, this is one of those things you could just click signage in store. So have you heard about them? That's fine. If you didn't hear about them any particular way, I would recommend just, saying something like that. And then have you previously worked for us? If you have, click yes. If you haven't, click no, we haven't. And then also just notice this here, if you currently work at Circle K and you're applying for a promotion or something like that, this says you want to apply internally. So that would be something you want to ask your supervisor about. All right. Okay, so now we got to add our work experience. And so, like I said, if you uploaded a resume, then it probably would have pre-filled some of this, but you might have to go back and fix it. But you can also always just hit this add button here. And then that's where the job title is going to be the job title you had at your previous job. So let's say that John Public, he was a cashier at Levi's outlet. And you can hit the location, but notice it's not required. So that's up to you. And now this form here is a little tricky. It's not super obvious. If you can see, there's a very faint blue on this MM for month. So they want you to type in the 2 M's. So like that. And then you see it automatically flips over to this Y. So if you do that, then you can hit, let's see, we started working there in 2015. And if you currently work here, you can click on that. And then you see the to date conveniently disappears. Otherwise, you need to hit a 2. But we currently work here, so. And then you want your role description. This is going to be a description of what you did. You could do bullet points or you could do sentences. I'd recommend bullet points. So that's where you could just type, provided customer service to a variety of customers, cleaned the front of the store, worked all shifts, right? Something like that. So that's that one done. If you want to add another one, you can click add and it'll give you another one. If you want to remove one, you hit remove. Basically with jobs like this, you want to have at least 5 to 10 years of experience. So, just go back to about 2015 or a little earlier. And then that should be about it. if you want to, I mean, if you want to add in some more, if you have some really, if you worked, in a very similar kind of job in 2013 or 2010 or even 2008, that's fine. But you probably don't want to go back 20, 25 years, because then you're going to start um, uh, inviting age discrimination, which is a thing that happens. It sucks that it does, but that's kind of the fact of working. But yeah. All right, and then you want to add your education here. So same thing, school to university. You can go from a GED all the way up to a doctorate. So we're just going to enter in John Public's high school. Let's see, you went to Baton Rouge High. Field of study, you can leave that blank, and I definitely would recommend that if just high school. If you remember your GPA, you can put that in, but again, it's not required, so we're not going to do that either. And then yeah, add as many schools as you want. Yeah. All right, now let's see. These are some skills. They don't give you any suggestions, so this one is also a little tricky because you kind of have to just type them out, and then they'll take it or they won't take it. So for example, let's say Microsoft Office. Yeah, and notice I put a typo in, so you want to make sure you don't have any typos, and just hit enter, and then that's where you could just keep typing it out. Another skill you might want to put in would be common points of sale systems. So that's another one, but you can just keep typing those out. If you want to remove one, you can click this X here, and that'll remove it. Yeah, it's kind of a weird way to do it, but that's how they have it. So that's just how you do this little element right here. If you speak other languages, you can add more languages here. You can also add English if you'd like. That's up to you, because you can click that, but then they ask you to enter in all of these here: the comprehension, overall reading, speaking, and writing. So honestly, if like John Public's monolingual, he only speaks English, so he's just gonna leave that out because it's not required. Since we're applying for jobs in Louisiana, which the overwhelming language is English, we're not going to worry about that. But if you speak another language, I'd recommend filling this out as well. We have another opportunity to upload our resume or CV. Again, if you have one, I'd highly recommend uploading one. If you don't have one, I'd highly recommend making one. You can come into the Career Center anytime. We can help you with it. If you go to our website, www.careercenterbr.com, there are templates on there for you to fill out. There's a lot of stuff on our website, and in person you can come in and ask us for help, and we'd be happy to help you. But yeah, we're just going to skip it for right now to save some time. So if you have any websites, feel free to add them here. We don't, so we're going to skip that. And then social network URLs. This is one of those things I would not recommend adding anything to a social network URL because that's just going to give another place for the employer to look you up and to try to kind of, the term Facebook stalking. It's going to be kind of like that, only it's your employer, which I'm not a huge fan of. So I would recommend not, unless you're applying to a managerial type position. And then you could provide your LinkedIn, because that's how a lot of managerial type positions are kind of filled and looked at. So if that's the case, then yeah, you could provide a LinkedIn. And it looks like here they really only want you to give your LinkedIn anyway, which is nice. But so that's up to you. But like I said, only do a LinkedIn, and really only if you're looking for a managerial type position. So this is going to be our eligibility section. And it's basically just figuring out if you're eligible to work for Circle K legally. So are you legally eligible to work in the United States? The answer to that is going to be if you were born here. The answer is yes. If you're a naturalized citizen, if you took the oath and all that, then that would be yes. Otherwise, you'll need to ask someone else. We aren't really um, equipped to answer that legal question for you. You know, talk to an immigration lawyer, talk to some other people, but yeah. So since we were born here, we're going to say yes. John Public was. This provide legal documentation. That's basically things. I think it's the I-9 forms. You can look that up. Um, but basically, the I-9 forms you need if you have a passport, that works by itself. Otherwise, you'll need like a driver's license and your social security card. But again, you should have that documentation if you were born here. So, are you willing to submit to a background check if a job's offered? So this you see there's also the I'm under the age of 18. So if you're under 18, click on that. Otherwise, just click yes. If you click no, you can click no, but they probably won't hire you. So that's just something to keep in mind. Are you at least 16 years old? That's fairly simple. We are. Are you a current employee of Circle K? This should also be fairly simple. Have you previously been employed by our company? That's Circle K. And then the date available for employment. Here's another one of those kind of weird. You can click here to kind of get a calendar, which is nice. So this is today. You can see it's kind of blue. So I'm just going to click tomorrow. That's up to you. I mean, if you already have a job, you know, you probably want to put 2 weeks in the future. If you're currently unemployed, then yeah, click whenever you're available for employment. So they want you to provide the name and phone number or email of one personal reference. So they want a personal reference and a professional reference. Even though the professional reference is not technically required, I would still recommend it. So these references, we actually have a video on references that should be up soon if it's not already. But basically, you want a reference to be someone who knows you professionally or who knows you in a how you work in a professional way. You know, something like your grandma is probably not the best idea, but if, you know, your coworker, your supervisor, um, uh, friends of yours who maybe have worked with you before, people like that. So for us, I'm just going to type in, I'm going to pretend that John Public works at the Career Center. And I'm going to put in my own name. And I'm going to just add in the number for one of our extensions here. And an email. So, all right, so that's one of those. Again, I would recommend having 3, but just so we can show you how this works, this is just the one. And I would also recommend putting in their relationship to you, like that. But yeah, so I'd recommend having at least 3, either here or here. And then when you're ready, hit next. And let's see, so this is going to be our availability. And it looks like it's just a check mark. So you can select when you're available to work mornings. Notice they have all the days of the week. They also have any of the above, and they also have none of the above. So if you can work every morning of the week, you can hit any. If you can't work mornings at all for whatever reason, you can click none. Otherwise, you can kind of, you know, click in which ones you're available. And then afternoons, you can. We're going to click any just to show you how this is. Evenings, I'm going to say any. Night shift, we're going to say none. And then what's your desired schedule type? If you like a full-time job, click that. Part-time, same thing. We're going to say either. And then basically this is a little thing that says, even though they try to accommodate your schedule, they can't guarantee that you will work this schedule and that your hours will vary from week to week. So that's just, if you understand and agree, hit yes. If you hit no, they probably won't hire you. So, all right, here's our voluntary disclosures. So this is going to be basically, this is the terms and conditions of employment. This is pretty basic legal boilerplate. Basically, you told the truth in your application. You don't have to receive text messages. It looks like they're going to contact you via text. You're going to abide by the law and their policies. It's all at-will employment. That means they can fire you at any time or you can quit at any time. And you're not, and that's another some more at-will stuff. So just keep all that in mind and go ahead and click yes if you consent. Again, there's no option, so you have to keep applying. And then we're going to take a short assessment. Oh, this first assessment actually is for the tax credit. Yeah, so this is going to be kind of work opportunity tax credit program. Basically, this is some tax stuff for Circle K, so you can go ahead and fill this out. So this is where you want to type in your social security number here. Obviously, we're going to black out the social security number. And it automatically went to the next one for us. Our street address again is going to be this is just this is just the libraries. And let's see, there's an email under the age of 40. This is just answer truthfully. I don't think this will get back to the yeah. So it's not going to get to the employer. So you won't have to worry about age discrimination. You can also decline here. That's kind of neat. If you want to decline the screening, you can. Just scroll down here to the bottom and click that decline button. But we're not going to. We're just going to go ahead and do this. Date of birth. All right. Let's see, state code of the location for which you're applying. So this is the 2-letter state code, Louisiana, we are LA. Next, have you worked at this company before? No. So these are going to automatically advance, it looks like. And yeah, just answer these as honestly as you can. All right, and then you see here, there's just this is your filled out form. So yep, and then we can hit e-sign and continue. And that's it. All right, now the next part, this is an actual assessment. This is an actual test for Circle K. So let's go ahead and hit next. Basically, so it's just going to be, first we have information. So this is all voluntary information for research purposes. So we're going to leave all this blank. You can fill this out if you'd like, but that's up to you. Oh, we have to require, it is required apparently, okay. Oh, we can select prefer not to say and leave your birth blank. Okay, well that's good to know. All right, okay, and then we're going to say prefer not to say. But again, that's up to you. And then go ahead and hit next. All right, so these are your work preferences. And it says we're going to be presented with the beginning of a statement and followed by 2 phrases. So you're going to decide which degree your work preferences and attitudes align by selecting one of the 6 response options. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll show you the first one, and then we'll kind of skip through. So when things are the same every day, I enjoy knowing what to expect or get bored easily. You can see here there's 6 little circles. So you can just kind of click on one. Also, auto advance is enabled. So whenever you do click on one, it's going to automatically go to the next one. If you want to turn that off, you can click on this auto advance right here. You can turn that off. So yeah, so basically you're just going to answer these. You're going to try to figure out, do you really enjoy knowing what to expect? You're going to click here. If you get bored easily, you're going to click here. If you're kind of in the middle, you can click on one of these. So just pick those and figure it out. But we can't show you what it is. Yeah, so I'm going to fill this out and then I'll see you at the next thing. Okay. Now we're going to we can review by clicking previous, or we can hit continue. So, if you want to make sure you answered everything the way you wanted to, you can hit this button right here. But if you're ready to continue, you click on continue. All right, and now, now this says that these responses are only used for research purposes and will not be used to evaluate your fit for the role. This is all it looks like it's about the perceptions of the job market. So again, if you want to just say prefer not to say, you can click here. Otherwise, you can answer these how you'd like. So yeah, I'm just gonna click on all these, prefer not to say. But again, it's up to you, however you want to answer those. All right, and that was that assessment. And now we're going to review our information. So just go through and just make sure all this is right. You know, your name, address, email. Make sure you didn't have any typos or errors in your experience or anything like that. So just go through and double check all of that stuff. Yours will probably be a little longer, but yeah. So just go through and just check everything. It all looks good to me. And when you're ready, hit submit. And congratulations, we have entered our application. All right, it says additional action is required. We do need to enter the date of birth, gender, and SSN questions if they appear. And remember to save your username and password for future applications. Do make sure to remember that username and password, because even if you don't get this job with CircleK, they're going to hold on to your login information. And if you want to apply to a job again, you'll need the same username and password. So go ahead and remember those, write them down if you need to, or whatever you need to do. But yeah, so it looks like we need to provide our social security number. So again, we got to choose our country is going to be United States. So we're going to go down here to United States. National ID type is SSN. It says up here in big red letters, only select Social Security. So that's the number we're going to enter. And again, we're going to black this out because, you know, Social Security should be fairly secret. But go ahead and enter yours in. Yeah, so that should be just that. And then issue date, I guess this would be your, well, this isn't required, so that's good. If you want to type this in, you can click in your birthday, but it doesn't expire. And besides, both of these fields are not required. So hit OK. And then the test is complete. Oh, and now we need to provide our date of birth and gender. So let's see, our date of birth was 7/04/1990. Let's see, not declared. I mean, type in your gender if you'd like, but that's just kind of what we do in these videos. All right, we are set. We can look at our submitted application. We can view the job posting again. You can withdraw the application if you get hired somewhere else. And then this says next steps. A member of our team will reach out if you're a match for this role. So keep an eye on your email. And other than that, best of luck. Yeah, that's it for this video, for this application. Best of luck in your job search. If you like this video, go ahead and hit like. If you want to see more that are like it, hit subscribe. And other than that, we will see you next time, and good luck.